Hey there Titans, in this video we'll talk about using hiddens with the Titan word-addin for Titan docs and Titan sign. Hiddens are very useful in many scenarios, and the way that we add them, we can click manage hidden fields and then we could add the hiddens, and hiddens can be either static or coming from either a web project, which is pretty cool. If you're using interactive docgen in a web project, you can pass in variables directly from your web project. So if you have any project variables, you will be able to pass them here and then read data according from it, either run conditions or query Salesforce, so on and so forth. So that's number 2, and obviously static we will see in just a minute, and obviously we could also pull any record from Salesforce. Just one thing when we're pulling records, and I will demonstrate in just a minute, whenever we're pulling to a hidden field, we want to make sure it has its own query. So right now I have some fields mapped in from the account, and it's called account data, and if I would want to bring some data from the account, I would run it on a separate query like so. So I'll call the account, not use what I have. I don't want to map data from a hidden or use that one or use an existing one for a hidden. I want it to be on its own, and I'll name it typically hidden. So I know what this is, and I know not to use it for data mapping. Okay, so where did this meet us? So there is so many use cases for it, but the simplest one, so let's say if I would use a static condition, what I would do is a static hidden. For instance, if I would run a condition on the account, and let's say I want to display some text, I want to display the employees only when only when the account name is equal to something in Hebrew. So I cannot type in a condition something that's not Latin or numbers. So what I would do is simply just insert a hidden and something static according to the text I want it to be, or obviously it could be dynamic, but in my case I will just do, and I'll say value is something in Hebrew, okay? And then I could go back to my condition and insert it directly this way. So I'll select my account and I'll say whatever, doesn't matter what field, and I could say equals to a hidden field. And obviously that hidden could be dynamic or coming from a web project, so on and so forth, according to what you're using. Another cool thing with hiddens, for instance, if I would again go back to a condition, and let's say I would want to go and look at the parent record of my current record. So let's say on the account, I would want to look at the parent account and decide from that parent account if I want to display something or not. And again, that's using conditions, and you can use it for filters and so on and so forth. It's very, very powerful. So what I would do here is, let's say I'll call this ACC parent name, and I would give this, I'll look at the account. Again, I'll create a new query for this one, ACC parent name hidden, and I'll select my field, and I'll call this parent account ID, and now I can set my reference. I cannot do that directly from the condition, and I can say account name and save and save. And then what I can do in my condition is I'll insert edit condition, and I could look at that hidden as well. So I could say, let's say the account data name, and then I could say it equals to my account parent name. So that's really great, and I could use it directly from here. One thing to notice with hiddens, again, that we explained this at length with the filters video, that you want to make sure that it has first A, its own query, and B, you're filtering it correctly. So in this instance, we have to filter this. So I would say the account ID on the hidden equals to my parent ID that I want to pull. That's very important to notice, that you're putting in the right filters for it, and if you're querying anything under that from the hidden, so make sure that it's nesting under it, and so on and so forth. And this is how it's done.